Allow me to remind you that an epidemic of unknown origin has already eradicated a few genuinely distinctive towns in the northern part of the country. The cause and circumstances of these tragic events remain uncertain. There is a lot that we cannot explain yet. It appears as though the plague has a mind of its own, as if it is driven by some irrepressible will. Why else has no one managed to fight it successfully? Why does it target the most precious aspects of our existence? The sand plague picks its victims fastidiously, and the same principle always draws it back to whoever tries to oppose it. Surprisingly, we've yet to hear a single word from the powers that be.
And there we have it. That's your introduction to the Pathologic Classic HD world. I'm not going to say too much more about the game because there's lots of walking involved in the game, so we'll have time to talk about different aspects of the game and more of its history as we play through it. And also I just want to drive straight in. This is one of my favorite games. I love the world, I love the characters, I love the story. So without further ado, let's get started. I'm going to be doing a campaign of all three of the main characters.
So, it's all about trickery to you? Wherever have you come from?
No. I detest trickery. But if we ourselves are to suffer deception, our hands are no longer tied. Where are we?
Well, the muscular contraction is there. Means we're already inside of him. This must be one of the ventricles, right here.
What a silly place. It's stuffed. So it's not real for now? I don't think it has started yet.
Does it matter what it's made of? It's definitely struggling. We need to perform Sectio Transversalis. Cut the wall. There's no other way out. What else is there to do?
I know what to do. Those who favor hard logic and direct action are bound to be misguided. Only a miracle can set us free without us having to destroy something. And I can do miracles. Just let me.
Will you please be quiet? You're a liar and a thief. Who is going to believe you when you keep lying to yourself? The truth is my shepherd. Whatever happens, I will find answers, and justice will be restored. I will perform the operation. Medica morbo adhibe.
Don't you go all bossy on me, clever clogs. You will act justly, but your justice will blind you and become his demise. This calls for the gentle hand of a surgeon. Step aside, both of you.
Your gentle hands are used to killing, not giving life. You will inevitably do harm. As for Brainy, he has no regard for casualties at all. Neither of you knows compassion.
Yes, it seems unlikely that we'll get along well, but there's only one truth.
Any choice is right as long as it's willed. That's the truth of the matter.
Only the heart will show you the right choice. Stop thinking about yourselves. Think of the sick. He's in pain. I can't see it yet, but I can feel it.
It's not even a trap. It's a grave. Subipsum funis sumus. Can't say I hold a soft spot for it.
I can see that. You're full of hate. Stuffed or not, it's breathing. I can hear it. It can be healed rather than killed.
You mean you won't become a killer? But you will. Mark my word, that's exactly what will happen. But I can avoid it.
No, we won't ever get along. I suggest we be on our way. The sooner the better.
Off we go then?
Let's go. The clock is ticking.
So hello and welcome back to our next episode in our Pathologic Classic HD Let's Play. We're going to start with our story for Clara the Changeling. Clara had a dream. A foggy morning, having passed a wicket gate, she is now dawdling somewhere, piles of dry leaves rustling in her wake. A familiar voice calls out to her. She lifts her eyes and sees her own twin sister point at an old man convulsing and weeping in unbearable agony. Clara darts for the man to save him with her healing touch, but so does her sister. The girls exchange confused glances. This is the story of a thief girl who has chosen her own past, ceased to be the instrument of blind fate, and refashioned herself into a free miracle worker.
Clara wakes up. Could the dream have been prophetic? She has prophetic dreams often. She's no longer surprised by them. She knows that they are sent by the powers that want to warn the herald of what the future holds for her. There were a lot of clues hinting at the veracity of the message. She does indeed know how to treat those in pain with her miraculous hands. She is indeed willing to ease their suffering. She truly strives to do the right thing. She loves her fellow beings. The girl is eager to do good deeds, even if that requires her to go through pain and hardships. Changeling wakes up at the edge of a pit in the ground. Sleep hasn't brought her comfort. Her back and legs ache as though she has walked many miles. Her hands are covered in mud. There are traces of dried blood on her bare knees. It's dark. The dawn is a few hours away.
And there we have our introduction to Clara. or the changeling as she's referred to. Why would they call me a thief, pray tell? What did I steal? Why does the law detest me so? The only thing I remember is that I am an outlaw and will forever be persecuted. Was I really that good a thief, I wonder? I have nothing of value, just myself and these rags I am wearing. My crime is horrendous, still, I am beyond redemption. Back in the day, every heart was open before me. Now whatever door I approach is slammed in my face. This is terrifying. Where should I run? With whom shall I seek shelter? Shall I find what I stole and give it back? Who will agree to take it off my hands? Who will answer my questions if not you? Day 1, in which the changeling finally finds her sister, thus confirming the prophecy of the twin angels. So each of these characters gets progressively difficult. So the Bachelor is pretty easy, the Haruspex is kind of medium, and the changeling, Clara, is hard. And again we have our fellow friends, the Tragedian and the Executor. Oi, you're one swift appearer, a child, a sweet thing, see-through palms you've got, magnificent little hands, so extraordinary, and already blackened and reddened all over, how verily evocative. What do you want? Before you enter the town and embark on your cleansing agenda, I'd like to give you a few pieces of advice. You are, after all, a mere hatchling. I rather doubt you'd arrive at this cemetery with your MO already laid out, if you pardon the pun. Please do tell me. Time won't wait for you. Hour after hour, day after day, it will run out fast. You are not the center of the universe, not even now that you make this truly exceptional part to play. At some point you may even feel that you could easily be everywhere at once, but make no mistake, the town is changing with time, and there's nothing you can do about it. We'll see about that. Time has the final say in matters of life and death. It may so happen that you will knock on the door of a person you need when that person is already past being able to answer you. The news changes too. What was on a person's mind a day ago will have petered out come tomorrow, and it may have been something you would have found useful. Pray, why speak of such terrible things? It's not like I have a say in matters of anyone's life and death, time or no time. I haven't had a laugh like this in quite a while. If you don't have a say, who does? Who but you, my blessed child, is holding in her hand the lives and deaths of others? But be careful with your terrible grift. Each death will count against you. No amount of trickery is too much. No price is too high for maintaining a viable reputation. Reputation? Yes, you will have a reputation too, my dear child, and I don't think you'll find that sullen horse easy to tame. It will be full of surprises. Your reputation will be falling always, relentlessly, and it's decisive in, everything. How many friends you've got, how many enemies. Trust opens the right doors and the right lips. How do I keep track of my reputation? People will always appreciate your help, and I can assure you a lot of people are going to need help these days. Relieving sufferers from their misery is appreciated a great deal. Sometimes a person is in such pain that even euthanasia will be a blessing, especially for the incurable. Do I have a good reputation right now? Right now, search me, but it's easy to find out. In fact, it's generally a good idea not to neglect checking up on your status. Has my kind-hearted colleague spoken to you about it yet? He hasn't. Most importantly, don't forget to stop by the caretaker's lodge. You've got people waiting you there, and they have no doubts about your identity. As it happens, they've just drawn proof of your arrival from a pile of oracle bones. Your turning up in person will duly impress them. Tarry not. Careful, don't scratch me with that beak of yours. It is no beak, my dear child, it is a talon, for what I really am is a finger of a hand. You should be that much more careful if it's a talon. So as usual, we get a brief introduction to the character we're about to play, almost like reading an actor's brief. How small you are, how frail. Will you survive in this horrible world? You're talking to me as if I were a newborn baby. Aren't you? You'll have to be taught to eat, drink, sleep, move around, heal yourself, even to breathe. This place drains your health all too fast. Even a seasoned person must stay alert. Not everyone manages to cope. Teach me kindly, Mask. How can I stay in good health? We're dying every minute of our lives. Thousands of cells dissolve, melt, burst like bubbles in a froth. You must replenish your strength several times a day. If you allow yourself to be overcome with exhaustion, or your hunger becomes unbearable, you will be dying faster than usual. And usual is not fast enough as it is. It's the air in this place. I'm hungry already. Starving, actually. You can buy food at a shop if money's a problem. Various comestibles can be picked up at residential houses, but those are closed except during an emergency. And should you break in to one using a lockpick, be nimble. The inhabitants will defend their property. So what am I to do? You can take anything you want from the mansions that those detained for the leading roles in the unfolding of drama, such as the custom of hospitality with the local aristocracy and those who try to imitate them. What sort of people are they? You will soon learn to spot them among the populace. Their houses stand out. By the way, this is also where you can find a bed to get some replenishing sleep in, provided, of course, that you don't give the owners reason to shut the door on you. Where can I buy useful things around here? You can spot a shop by its sign. They're for selling useless items as well as buying useful ones, and some of the people in the street will gladly barter things they wouldn't sell you for money. There's illicit trade going on in a couple of secret spots, but a lady so young will be wise not to set foot in those dens, or for matter, talk about them. So there are things no one would sell me, right? Should your reputation, on the importance of which surely my colleague has been speaking to you about, sink so low as to lose you the trust of even the most desperately reckless, which describes all merchants, you won't be able to buy even the most harmless of articles, but reputation can be restored. What else can you teach me? Essentially, this is it for now. Don't forget to stop by the caretaker's lodge. Awaiting you there is Catalina, who will be a better mentor and support than myself in these difficult first days. You're lucky to have her on your side, being as she is a mistress, as well as the wife to our ruler, the fearsome Alexander. Very lucky indeed. So we have our introduction into the caretaker's lodge to meet Catalina and Grace.
He is ruthless. That man with the snakeskin coat. He doesn't know compassion.
Sounds a bit like The Bachelor. Surely you're not going to hurt a caretaker's daughter, are you? I may be useful to you yet. If I die, who's going to look after the graves? You don't say so, my dear. Who do you take me for? You've got me mixed up with someone else, right?
What?
See, my lady has come to find out what the dead are saying about our fate. Are those their bones you've got before you? No, these bones belong to the children of Suok. Legend says that a shard of Boss Tulok's rib is hidden among them, but no one knows which exact bone is his. With these bones, we draw the lines that carry words from the House of the Dead. What words have the dead chosen this time? They're saying they've already vacated 7 of the 9 corners of their house for the guests that are due. All of the house's inhabitants are now crammed into the remaining 2 corners. Can you imagine the harvest that death is about to reap? Oh, scary. I can picture vividly this house with the dead crowded in those corners, expecting the many guests. And my lady doesn't want to believe it. She says the future can be changed. This is her pity talking. Where did you come from? I thought you were going to stay at grandfather's. You only went there yesterday evening, after all. What are you talking about? Well, there was a girl, the spitting image of you. She came here just before you did. It wasn't dark yet, and then she went to grandfather. That's odd. Impossible, actually. It must have been me. There's no other way.
I've been forgotten here.
You're
so
back.
Now my side is all damp.
What did grandfather say? I haven't seen anyone's grandfather. There must be some misunderstanding. Just checking, see if the bones are on the floor.
I'll let the good scholar examine the deadly powders. We'll put him to the test.
Katerina Sabulov. Where did you come from, girl? Tell me your name. I'm Clara. That's who I am. I saw the lights and thought I might be welcome here. I'm cold. Yes, that is right. I've been waiting for you, Clara. We have many things to talk about. And why have you been waiting for me? Please do tell. No, not in here. Listen. You need to go to my house, report to my husband, the ruler Alexander. He will take care of you, and I will be there later, when Grace and I are finished with our business. If I am guessing who you are correctly, then we are all saved. Are you in danger? Yes. The bones say we are in danger, the likes of which have not been seen on this earth. Go to our house, Clara. If you are who we have been waiting for, you will have no trouble getting there, and no one will threaten you on your way. I'll do as you say. We've got to head to Alexander Saburov. Our quest, the Harbinger. This woman has the power over the town, and so does her husband. With their permission, I'll stay here for the time being. He will try and test me, and after I have convinced him of how important my mission is, he will be the one to protect me with the power he has in his abundance. Here lives Alexander Saburov, the ruler of this town. I must hasten to meet him and explain my arrival here. So we're in the graveyard and we've got to shoot up to Alexander. So putting this into context of where the rest of the characters are, the Bachelor's just arrived and he's at Eva Jan's. The Haruspex has arrived. He's being hunted as a murderer of Simon Kane, and he helped out Notkin in the warehouse by letting Laika go. He didn't kill him. Apologies, I haven't fixed the stuttering issue yet that I said I would in the last video, but I'll get on that if I can. So, yeah, good. So I haven't actually done the Haruspex or Changeling playthrough in this game, so it's all quite new to me as well. I'm quite excited because the Changeling is quite mysterious and magical, more so than the other two. The Bachelor is quite focused and logical. The Haruspex is steeped in myth and folklore, but the Changeling is something completely different altogether. One of the challenges with the Changeling's playthrough is that her reputation is constantly dropping because of her twin sister. So it's important that at night time in particular we try and keep our reputation high by taking out thieves and bandits when we can. We have Anna Angel's house. Just take a quick look, so it's 6:30 on the first day. We don't have our list of adherents yet. Or the bound, as they refer to in the Haruspex. The Haruspex playthrough. So it's quite an unusual town the game is set in. It's kind of a mix of steppe culture plus kind of 18th, 19th century kind of European architecture. And also it's not quite clear what time the game is set in either. Although there are guns and some rifles, it's maybe the early 20th century, late 19th century. So also you heard that they refer to Katerina as a mistress. That'll become a bit more clearer what the meaning is behind that in the next couple of episodes. Mistresses are kind of prophetic women who have power, magical power, and the town kind of worship them and also fear them. Home sweet home.
My chest hurts. Can it be conscience?
You're standing before Alexander Saburov, one of the rulers of this town. You must be Clara, I suppose. Yes, that's right. Have I done something to anger you? My wife, Katerina, said you had been seen at the cemetery. The late caretaker's daughter claims that you had crawled out of a fresh grave, the appearance of which could not be accounted for. Is this true? Yes, I awoke in an earthen pit. It didn't look like a grave, just a pit in the middle of a cemetery. But that's not a crime, is it?
Neither the sun nor death can be looked at without winking. Who said that?
Do you know that it's dangerous for you to even go out in the street? Are you aware that the powerful Kane family has put a bounty on your head? An envoy of theirs just left. and I promised them I'd help catch the criminal by all means. The criminal? The head of one of the ruling families died last night, which we now know to be Simon Kane from the Bachelor walkthrough. His mother is said to be a woman similar to you in appearance. The description largely matches the common folk, blinded by local superstitions, are blaming a mystical creature spawned by the earth under mysterious circumstances at night. Is there anything you have to say to that, Clara? Who's been murdered? I know nothing. Simon Kane, the oldest and wisest of us, the spiritual mentor and founder of our community. Don't dodge the question. The charge is serious. But for my wife's firm faith in you, I would have handed you over to the Kanes without a moment's hesitation. And you? Do you suspect me too? I don't know why, but for some reason I trust you. I get the strange feeling as though I have known you for a long time, and that makes me suspicious, Clara, pointing as it does to the fact that you have control and otherworldly power of some kind. I do have inexplicable powers. I've always had them, but I've always thought of it as a blessing. It's good, not evil. Why then are you being called a thief? I do believe larcenous skills are the exclusive domain of the wicked. Who's calling me a thief? That is something you would have to ask my wife. She too possesses mysterious powers. Specifically, she has prophetic dreams. It has been proven over many years that these dreams do come true. They have been her main source of knowledge about you. It's actually the other way around. My hands have the gift of healing. I can cure the most terrible diseases with my hands. I've cured cancer. I've even brought someone back from the dead once. Everyone said I'd made a miracle happen. Indeed, you are a miracle worker. That makes you almost a saint. Yes, a status like that precludes accusations of murder and theft. But then explain to me the meaning of those coincidences. If not for my blind faith in my wife's words, I would have no doubt that you are an evil spirit, a spawn of the netherworld. And if you don't explain that mystery at once, I swear even Katarina's influence will not save you. Wait, I'll tell you. I have a twin sister. She looks exactly like me, is named the same, and wears the same clothes. I fear that she was the one who committed all those horrible crimes. Alright, have it your way. I accept this explanation, and I believe you. Thank you for believing me. So what are you capable of, Clara? Tell me more about your miraculous abilities. I can cure various diseases using my hands. I know that already. Anything else? I can induce a hypnotic state in people, provided they consent, of course, then they will answer any question truthfully. Enough. I need time to make up my mind. Now, go outside, walk around the house, and you will get to my wife's side. Afterwards, come back to me. If your conversation yields no unpleasant surprises, I shall decide on your future from then on. Alright, I'll do as you say. One can only go to Katarina, the ruler's wife, through a different entrance. Why is that? Their love for each other is evident. So even though they live in the same house, they're separated for some reason. Maybe we'll find out more about that. But I'm going to leave it there for this episode. So hopefully next time we will figure out what Katarina wants from us and discover a little bit more about the special and magical abilities that Clara has and where she fits into the role in this story. So I'll talk to you later and have a nice day.